So here we are going to study about other details about relational model. So we already studied about the relational model in which we represent a database as a collection of relations or tables. Then we said that each table will have a unique name. There will be the table contains different rows are there which are called tuples, and it also contains different properties of that is different columns are there which are called properties or attributes. And we studied about different types of keys like uh, super key, candidate key, then primary key, foreign key, etc. So all these are actually related to this relational model. Now we are going to study about a particular topic which is called a schema diagram. So schema diagram is in somewhat it is similar to the ER diagram. So we studied ER diagram in which it is mainly used to understand, or it is mainly help us to understand an ER model, that is a database in which we are using different graphical representation, and which is concentrating on two main points like entities and the relationship. But here the schema diagram is mainly used in relational model in order to understand the structure of a database. So we know that if you are using a relational model, the database is divided, database contains, or it includes different relations or tables. So here mainly we have to identify the main points like what are the different tables present in database, what are the names of the tables, which all attributes are there in each and every table, and what is the primary key set for each table. Is there used any foreign key, that is there any relationship between one table and other table. So all these points are mainly concentrating in the diagram which is called a schema diagram. So we know the concept or the meaning of schema. Schema means a structure. So schema diagram, it will give you or it will show you the database schema. So which include the foreign key, the primary key, dependencies, etc. So mainly the symbols or the notations which are used to represent table is a rectangular box or a relation. So this is an example of a schema diagram. This diagram is for a university database. So from this diagram it is clear that there are different tables are there, and we just studied that the table is represented by a rectangular box. So here 11 boxes you can see, that means 11 tables are there. The name of the table will be given on the top side, that is middle aligned, which are take, student, section, course, time slot, department advisor, instructor, prerequisite, then teachers, classroom. So these are the mainly used relations in the university database. So that point is over. The next thing we have to study is which are the different attributes present in each and every table. So first, if you are taking the takes table, these are the attributes present. If you are taking the student table, these are the attributes present, like that. So if you check each and every rectangular box, other than the name in the first section, then the rest of the left aligned text will give you the names of each and every attribute present in that table. Then if you want to identify the primary key, we are using the same concept of ER model, that is all the primary key in each table will be underlined. So here if you are taking the takes table, the ID is the ID, course ID, section, semester ID, these are the primary key here. So this combination makes the primary key for this table. ID is the primary key for student table, department name is the primary key for department table, like that. Then next is we want to show the dependencies, that is foreign key. Here we can see an example that there is a arrow. Every foreign keys are represented by an arrow, and the direction of arrow, we studied that in the case of foreign key there are two types of tables are there. The first one is referencing table and the second one is referenced table. So suppose with the help of this example I will show, and the arrow is from referencing table to the referenced table. So I will explain the concept. And suppose that the student is one table and it has the attributes ID, name, department name and total credit. Okay. Then this is another table, and department is another table which has the three attributes: department name, building and budget. We can see an arrow from student to the department. That means that the department name in the department table, the department table has a primary key called department name, and this attribute is used in student table also. So here it is not a primary key, but this department name, which is the primary key of department table, is used here. So if there is any such cases are there, we can reference this attribute, which is a foreign key. That means this attribute is the primary key of department table. So here which one is the referencing table? Student table is a referencing table, because the student table is referencing an attribute. It contains an attribute which is called the department name, which is a primary key of the other table, which is called the department. So here student table is act as the, if we are taking these two tables, student table act as the referencing table and the department table act as the referenced table, because it is referencing. It is referenced by the student table. So whenever we are drawing a foreign key, the direction will be, that is we have to take an arrow from a referencing relation to a referenced relation. So in the same manner you can see different arrows. So here if you are taking this arrow, this means this is a referencing relation and this is a reference relation. So that is the main concept we have to consider whenever we are describing about the diagram, which is called schema diagram. So in schema diagram, as we said, it will give you the database schema or database structure, including the name of the tables, the attributes, the primary keys and foreign keys dependencies. And relations or tables are represented by rectangular box. The name will be written on the top side. After that, we will inside the box we will write the attributes of the table. The primary key will be underlined. The foreign key is denoted by an arrow, which is coming from a referencing table to a referenced table. So that is the concept of the schema diagram. The next point we have to study is about relational query language. So whenever we studied the query SQL, we studied about query language. We said now that SQL is a type of query language. So what is a query language? Query language is a type of language in which the user will request some information from a database. That is, we know that database consists of different information, and based on the need of the user, he can request information from a database. So that is called a query language. So whenever we are comparing a query language with the normal high-level language or normal programming language, we can say that query language is little bit higher in level than the programming language. Then query language are of two types. The first one is called the procedural and the second one is called the non-procedural query language. So we studied what is a query language. A query language is a language in which the user can request information from a database, and there are two types of query languages are there. The first one is procedural query language and the second one is non-procedural query language. So the first one we are going to study is what is the meaning of a procedural query language. And you all know the meaning of a procedure. Procedure means a step-by-step something, step-by-step information or a step-by-step sequence in order to do a particular task. So the same concept is in the case of procedural query language. So here if the user want to do the user want to compute some result from the information stored in the database, what the procedural query language do is that the user will instruct the system in order to perform a set of operations on the database to calculate the desired result. That is, user need to calculate a particular result. and there exists a database which contains different informations which are needed to compute that result. So the user will specify each step in order to take information from the database using which he can calculate certain result. So that is the meaning of a procedural query language. That means the user will write a procedure that's a step-by-step statements. In each step can be a query which will retrieve certain information from the table, and using that information some results will be calculated which are actually needed by the user. For example, suppose that there is a table which is called a student table, which contains different informations about the table, about the student, like the name or maybe the ID, maybe the marks, etc. Okay, suppose we are writing a procedure in order to calculate the CGPA of a student. So we can write a procedure, let the name of the procedure be get CGPA, whose purpose is to calculate the CGPA. But what we have only the student table which contains all the informations of the student, including ID, name, marks on each subject, etc. So what the user has to do, if he is writing a procedure and the aim of the procedure is to calculate the CGPA, first what he will do is he will retrieve the marks, each and every marks of the student. That is, he will get the marks of the student which are available in the database. That will be the first step. And after getting all the information, he can calculate the total marks. That is, based on the information on the database, he is calculating the total marks. So if you know the total marks, the third step, from the total marks, he can calculate the CGPA. So we will write these steps as a procedure. And we can write the name of the procedure, any particular name can be given. And suppose here I am using the name get CGPA, which is mainly used to calculate the CGPA from the existing information. So inside the procedure, the user will write a statement, a query line, a query statement to retrieve all the marks of the student. And in the second step, he may be calculating the total marks of the student. And with the help of the total mark, in this third step, he can calculate the CGPA of the student. So here we can see that the user is giving step-by-step procedure in order to calculate a particular result, and which is the meaning, which is an example of procedural query language. Okay, one example of procedural query language is relational algebra. So these are the main points about the procedural query language. The second one is non-procedural query language. So non-procedural language or non-procedural query language means we are not writing any step-by-step sequence in a particular order. The user will just give some query in order to retrieve some data from the database. For example, suppose you have a student table is there which contains the student ID, student name and marks or any other information. Suppose the user is interested to find out the name of a particular student with a particular ID. For example, I want to know the name of roll number 3. Okay, so what I will do, I will just write a query. In SQL, we will write select name from student where roll number is equal to 3. So there is only one statement we are writing. We are not writing any sequence. That is a non-procedural language. And best example of non-procedural language is a relational calculus. So when we study the relational calculus, we will understand that relational calculus contains, it just give a query to retrieve certain information from tables. And we are not writing any sequence or any procedure to do how to do it. So that are two types of query languages.